if you're in industrial marketing and you're looking to get a lot done with a small budget, then on this episode, we're going to cover the key areas and ways to focus to get the most bang for your buck.
Boxes, I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it. Quitting was never an option. Exhausted. This passion is never exhausted. And you cannot stop it. Nah, you cannot stop it. Quitting was never an option.
You first got to start with what's the goal? What's the goal of what you're trying to do with your marketing? If you're a $2 million a year business and you want to go to 10, that's a lot different than if you're just trying to go to 2.5 million. You got to be realistic with your growth goals. You got to be realistic of what it's going to take to get there. If you're a $40 million company and you want to see 10% growth, that's different than if you're looking to try and double it and then exit to a private equity company and cash in all your chips. So all the situations are different, which is why you have to go into it thinking like, all right, here's my situation, and this is the goal I'm looking to accomplish. Then from there, you can work backwards on how to achieve that goal. Just reverse engineer what it takes to get there. But realistically speaking, so many companies we talk to, they're like, hey, dude, I'm spending $1,500 a month and my marketing's not working. Well, yeah, your marketing isn't going to work typically for $1,500 a month, regardless of who you hire, because you're missing some of the core areas. So you first got to look at that goal. What should your budget be? Your budget realistically to make a lot of traction, a lot of movement. And as you know, or maybe you don't know, some of these tactics take time. Organic SEO takes time. Building a brand takes time. You're going to have to put money in to get value out to build up this brand. This is not something where you can say, today I have nothing, tomorrow I want all of this, these opportunities, all this revenue, and it just happens if you just do this one thing. It's a combination of multiple areas that have to all be working simultaneously to push the brand out there to bring new people in your pipeline. So if you're looking to do that, a realistic budget for you on a monthly basis should be north of $4,000 or $5,000 and up from there a month. So you're looking at $48,000, $50,000 and up on an annual basis just to get started to push the brand out there and bring in new inbound opportunities. Now, if you're looking to move faster, then you just have to do more things. You have to add in different areas into your marketing that can speed that up and enhance it. So if we break down what that budget is going to entail, you're going to have to cover a couple of the core areas. You're going to have to look at your website. You're going to have to do something on social. You're going to have to create content, all those things. But if you're like, dude, I don't want to spend $8,000, I want to spend $2,000, you can get started, but don't go into it expecting that for $2,000 a month, you're going to be bringing in a ton of opportunities. So that goes back to that goal. So if your goal is, I want slow and steady growth, I want growth that I can handle, I'm looking for 2 opportunities a month for all of my industrial people out there. I'm looking to get $2 million over a year, and I'm already at $20 million. Like I'm looking at 10% growth. You can do that for, $4,000 or $5,000 a month. If you're only looking at 2, then you're not going to get there. It'll be a lot slower. You're not going to hit those goals. So the core areas to focus on are going to be the first core area is going to be optimization. And what do I mean by optimization? I mean optimization of regardless of how you're bringing in traffic, whether it's organic, whether it's referrals, whether it's advertising, is where you're sending them to optimize for that traffic. If I send people to your website, if I send people to a landing page, whatever it is that you have, is that platform optimized to convert, maybe not convert into a sale, but convert into somebody that's going to then consume content, want to know more about you? Is that optimized? So you have to first look at it from a UX standpoint, user experience. If I go to that site, are you sending me to the homepage or are you sending me to an internal page? Is that page set up with call to actions? Is it set up with engaging content? Do you have pop-ups and banners and things that are going to say, hey, here's some content that you can get for free. Here's a video that you have. Look at focusing on that first. Make sure that the place that you're sending people to is optimized for that traffic. Because if it's not at all, and you're just going to say, you know what, I don't want to spend time on that. I just redid the website. I just redid this stuff 2 years ago. That's fine. Let's just push money into advertising. Then you're not really reaping all the benefits of it. Now, can you do those two things simultaneously? Yes, you can. Because we've had numerous customers where we say, all right, your whole website needs to be redone. But you don't want to wait for it to be redone to start your marketing. And we agree that there's things that we can do in the meantime. So we're going to go in and make minor tweaks and adjustments. This is not something that's going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars, minor tweaks and adjustments to make sure that your site is optimized for once you get that traffic. The flip side of it is organic SEO takes time, right? SEO going from page whatever, 100 plus, 10 plus, to the first, second page of Google and to the first, second position of Google, that takes a lot of time. And there's really no way to circumvent it and shortcut it to where I wasn't ranking today, and in 30 days I'm ranking number one, and I'm getting all this great significant amount of traffic coming in. There's no way to circumvent that. That's black hat SEO. That's basically cheating the system, and you will be punished from Google for that. But you have to at least start and say, I know that I've done the research, or the agency that I pick has done the research. These are the core SEO phrases I need to go after. So I need to optimize my site right now for those organic SEO phrases to start the traffic building up, to start us moving up in those positions, because that stuff takes time. So if you know going into it, look, this is going to take me 3-4 months to get to the top. Once I'm doing all these other things, then I want to start the counter today. I want to start it tomorrow. I don't want to wait 3-6 months, because that's just wasting time. And if you're wasting time, then you're wasting money. So those two things to focus on. If I send people to traffic to the website or to a landing page, wherever I'm sending it to, is it optimized for them with call to actions to click through? And is it easy for them to contact me? And also, is my organic SEO optimized on that to start the process of ranking faster? The second area you're going to want to look at is content. Anybody that's been following this channel and following my content for the last couple of years, it's what I talk about most. You have to create something. It does not have to be the highest level of production quality, right? Like, people are hesitant to get into something new because they're like, that's going to cost too much money. I don't have the money for it, so I'm just not going to do it. But content is the backbone, should be the backbone, everything that it is that you do. Because from an industrial sales and technical sales standpoint, gone are the days of people just doing the direct selling, being like, hey, this is what I do. You want to buy? This is what I do. Can I quote you? Those days are gone. They haven't been around for years. It doesn't work anymore. You have to try and provide some sort of value first to those people to hook them into it, so then you can build the trust, which is the number one thing that's needed in the sale, is somebody to trust you to take care of their problem with your solution, regardless of what it is, whether you're a manufacturing service provider or industrial product company. They have to trust that your solution is going to solve the problem. The only way to do that is to try and be the subject matter expert by creating content. Now, the first complaint that's going to come up there is like, I don't have the staff to do it. Okay, so going back to your budget, if you don't have the people to do it for you, then you need to hire people that can do it for you. Now, you can pick an agency like MFG Tribe, where we have engineers, degreed engineers on staff that write all of our clients' content, all their articles, all their website copy. So they know the industry. We know all the technical stuff. Or you can go and hire one directly. Or if you're like, dude, I don't even want to spend money on that, use your internal resources if you have to. The biggest hurdle you're going to have with that when it comes to creating content is you're going to find an engineer, a product engineer, a director of engineering, whatever. And if you're a smaller company, maybe it's your operations manager, and you'd be like, dude, can you write 1,000 words twice a month for me for articles so I don't have to pay this other person to do it? Yeah, dude, I could do that. And then they're going to write the first article, and then it's going to be 2, 3, 4 weeks until the second article, if ever. Maybe it's 6 weeks because they're tied up doing other things, and it just gets thrown to the back burner. Then you started something, didn't see it through, you're not consistent, and then it just flops. And then eventually 6 months goes down the road and be like, we tried that for 6 months, it didn't work. And so now I'm going to pay somebody to do it. Now, if time is money, you just wasted a whole bunch of money. You could have just paid the agency to write your content for you. The flip side of content is going to be the video side. Now, can you use an agency like MFG Tribe to create all of your video content for you? High quality professional with all of the glitz and glamour and everything that goes into it? You can. And it's going to be expensive. You can also hire a production company that's local, and they're going to be even more expensive, because to them, a local production company is like, look, I got one shot. This person wants me to make a video. I'm going to charge them for that video. It's going to be $11,000 for this 4-minute corporate overview video. And hopefully they love it enough to where they're like, hey, come back next year. Hey, we've got some other videos for you to do throughout the year. They're like, cool. $10,000 for the next video, $10,000 for the next video. And it's just ridiculously insane. But where MFG Tribe is different, we integrate it with the marketing stuff. So we're creating videos strategically for what we're going to do with those videos once we have them. And we can lower the cost on the per video side because we're doing all these other things. But you have to be doing something with video. It does not have to be, like I said, some high value production company. It does not have to be using an agency like MFG Tribe. You can do it with your phone. You can buy the equipment yourself and teach yourself how to do simple, basic editing. You can go out on your production floor, shoot a quick video showing what it is that you're doing, splice a couple of videos together, and then throw it up on LinkedIn, throw it up on your website if you want. Like, there's so many different ways to do it. And learning these days, everybody goes to YouTube and goes to Google to learn new things. You can do it easily. And for like $25, you could even buy a wired lav mic to hook up to your phone, to be able to conduct interviews or be able to have people hear you clearly. And you can post it yourself if you're looking to keep your budget to a minimum. There is no excuse on why you can't do something except for any excuses that you make up in your head. So if you say, I know that video is important. I know that video is going to increase engagement. I know that video is what people want to consume, and that's what's going to drive people to our brand. But I don't want to do it because I don't have the money. Okay, do it yourself. Well, but I don't have the experience. It's like excuses could just come and come and come every single minute. Every single thing that you say, this is my barrier, or here's my objection as to why I can't do that. You can do it till you're blue in the face, and then you're still going to be in the same situation of not doing anything. But if content is driving everything, you've already optimized your site. Now you know you have to create content written and video, then you need to do that because that is what's going to work. Don't focus on trade shows. Don't focus on anything else. Focus on creating good, high quality content, either internal or external, because that is what's going to make you a subject matter expert. That's what's going to drive people in and get them to say, hey, this person's doing something different. What I always tell prospects that we talk to is like, look at your top 5 competitors. How many videos do they have? Oh yeah, they've got 6 videos, but it's been 2 years. Exactly. So how are you going to stand out from them? Everybody wants to be the best in their space, the best in their industrial vertical. How do you stand out? You create content consistently, and good content, whether it's written or video. Just create it consistently every single week, every single month. Keep pushing out there, and eventually people will come to you. The other area is going to be is doing LinkedIn Lives. We're starting to explore this option for our customers, managing LinkedIn Lives. If you can do it and you've got content to share and you can educate people and entertain them, then that is a great source for you to then stand out again from the competition. But that's really the only way to do it. You can have nice taglines, you can have a better website, you can have better specs on your product, better specs on your service, but that's great. But you're trying to get people into the door first. So that's like phase 2. Step 1 is get them in the door, in the theoretical door, into your website, into your platform, into the top of your funnel. Then you can go through the specs and the services and why you're better than everybody else. And you can sell them on solving their problems, because that's what it all comes down to. But if you can't get them in, it doesn't matter how good your product is if nobody knows about it. The only way for people to know about it is going to be creating content. That brings us into the third key core area to focus on, which is going to be distribution. So how are you going to distribute this content? Are you going to just throw it up on your website and hope that people see it? Are you going to post it once a month on social and hope that people see it? You have to distribute it some way. And you have to focus on the key areas. So with video, you're going to put it on YouTube. You're going to put it on your website. You're going to put strategic videos throughout your website. You're going to have to try and drive people into your video library because you've already spent money or time creating these videos. But if there's already traffic to your site, put it on there for them to see it. On the flip side of that, you have to push it out on social. All of your potential customers live on LinkedIn. Are they there every day? No, they're not. Are they there every week? A lot of them are. But at the end of the day, putting it out on social isn't going to hurt you if it's done properly. If you're creating copy below the video or above it, depending on how you look at it, and then also using strategic hashtags, not just 3, not just like hashtag my name, hashtag my company, like strategic hashtags that are going to focus on the industries that you're in, the industries that you serve, hashtags that people follow on LinkedIn to then boost your brand out there. So you're going to take that video and post it on social. You're going to take that article, put it on your website, post it on social. Then you also want to drive that out through email. If you're doing email marketing, even if you're doing email marketing internally alone, push your content out there. Try and educate people. Be like, hey, look, here's a video we shot last week. I thought you'd get some value out of it. Here's 2 highlights from a video that I know your industry will get a benefit from learning this information. Regardless if they have a need right now, you're trying to be the subject matter expert. That takes time to build up. It also takes a library of content to do it. So you have to focus on distributing it. If you don't have an agency to do it, then you got to buckle down and do it yourself. Maybe you have an agency that just handles the website. Maybe you have an agency that just handles the video aspect, and you're like, I'm going to take care of email. I'm going to take care of social. That's perfectly fine if you have the time or the resources to do it. Usually what happens with customers is say, no, I don't need to take care of that. I don't need you guys to do that. We're going to do that ourselves internally. Usually what happens is they get started and they stop. And then we're creating good stuff, but they can't handle the distribution of that stuff. So then it impacts the KPIs that we're tracked on traffic to the site, views and opens of emails, things like that. How much watch time is on that video? Is it embedded in a website? How long are people staying on the site to watch that content? If we can't control as an agency all aspects of the pipeline, and we can't trust you have the resources or the time to be able to do it, then the project is not going to succeed as well as it could. But if you're like, I don't want to pay somebody to do it, you have to do it yourself. But you have to do it consistently and repeatably every single week. Otherwise, it's just going to fail. And the house of cards is going to fall. So you got to look at those main core areas of optimization of where you're sending the people to. You got to create some sort of content consistently, written and video, and then you have to distribute it in areas that are going to actually get attention. Now, people may be saying, dude, you're not talking about advertising. You're right. I'm not talking about advertising, because if you're focused on a budget and a limited budget, you're not focusing on ads. Some people have had the mindset like, no, I'm just going to focus on ads. I've only got $3,000 to spend a month. I'm going to spend on Google AdWords. I'm going to spend it on LinkedIn ads. Okay, that's fine. And could you get some success from it? Yes. But if you miss the steps of the optimization and creating content and stuff like that, that's just going to enhance the ad programs that you have. But if you don't want to do that, then it's going to impact the performance, right? Because you're paying money now to bring people into your ecosystem, into the top of your funnel, into your website. And once they get there, if they're like, yep, there's just, a bunch of copy here, there's no articles, there's no videos, I don't really know what it is that they do, it's not really optimized, I don't know, I just click the contact us button at the top, and then they may leave before they even get deep enough into your brand to learn those things. So I left out advertising specifically because anybody that's focusing on budget should not focus on advertising. They should focus on creating the core environment, creating all the core competencies, all the core content that they need to create that first. And then, to me, advertising is an enhancement to remove somewhat time out of the equation by showing up faster on Google search, or being strategically and putting things in front of people on LinkedIn through sponsored posts that will bring them into your ecosystem. That is an enhancement. It's not a replacement of the core organic areas to focus. So as always, guys, you can find me twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays live. Go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, turn on notifications, and we will see you on the next one.